Our Christian Flores is standing by. He actually has with him a witness. Christian, tell us more.
Yeah, right now we're standing with Michael Jones. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I know you said that you didn't quite see the shooting, but you saw the aftermath. Can you just, what exactly did you see?
Very simple word, bedlam. The chaos that ensued on both sides of K Street, all the way from between the two metros, was just a rush of, excitement and fear, with people running away from the scene, and then the police coming on there, and then multiple, departments, Secret Service, Park Police, MPD, all coming to the scene to address the issue, and then the ambulances, of course, and then just the buildup of curiosity watching, and then the expansion of the crime scene to, continue the investigation, and then obviously what has happened now, where we are, where you're standing right now doing the reporting with all the other reporters.
When you say bedlam, I mean, did you have any idea? Because I know. And now we have confirmation two National Guard troops.
Many people were walking down saying service members were just shot, National Guardsmen, so there was a concern. Our restaurant was put on lockdown. Many places were put on lockdown. Obviously, we're so close to the White House that it was immediate lockdown with them, and then other businesses were doing the same thing.
Was there a concern for your safety? Because at that point, I'm sure you didn't know if a suspect was in custody or not.
I think there's always a concern. When they say active shooter, you think of the same things with high schools and elementary schools, that when that happens, you have to be concerned about who's out there, and you have to watch it. So we had customers, and we have to make sure that we're taking care of them as well, too.
When you heard that possible service members that were shot, what was your reaction? What's your reaction now? Hearing that the West Virginia governor says that they're dead now.
Still, we have to figure out what all the facts are. I mean, hearing the fact that these National Guardsmen who are here for a reason, they're doing a job, it is absolutely just appalling and horrifying to hear the day before Thanksgiving that we have somebody's family member is no longer with us because of somebody's reckless behavior.
And you having this restaurant, I know we heard from business leaders and public safety advocates around the time when the federal enforcement and you had the National Guard deployed in the city. There are people on both sides. Obviously, people didn't want any sort of federalization. DC, you had people welcoming the safety. What was your reaction when you first heard of National Guard troops being deployed here, and then to hear this develop?
I think that we follow what the federal government is operating right now. I don't really have an opinion whether or not it's done effectiveness or not. I think that I've not seen anything unusual happening. I think they've done a very professional job, but nonetheless, this is something you don't want to have happen. So
you mentioned we're right before Thanksgiving. You have the family time, Thanksgiving, and to hear that two families are now dealing with this heartbreak, just when you think of that, just what goes through your mind?
And it tears at you. This is something nobody wishes to have happen, especially this is a domestic terrorist, and this is something that you just don't want to have happen or even dream to think happen, and it has. And so being close to it, seeing it, it's a conversation that's going to be happening at the tables tomorrow, especially in the DMV. You don't want to have to start the holiday season with, my God, what happened yesterday?
And my last question before I let you go, but you said you've been here for decades. We've seen shooting scenes throughout the city. I mean, just on a given day. But have you seen anything quite like this? I mean, we've seen so many city blocks just taped off.
Honestly, since I used to work at the White House, not since the Oklahoma bombing have I seen a heightened sense of security, and then with 9/11. This is pretty much equal to that level. Obviously it warrants the importance of being here and doing what they have to do, the due diligence with the investigation. But nonetheless, here we go again. We're dealing with unfortunate situation that we have to embrace and work through and hopefully understand and move forward.
Well, Michael, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. And we're just kind of set the scene here too. We just heard a little bit of yells. Sorry about that. Something just caught our attention, but it doesn't seem like to be anything much. But we've moved over to 17th and K right now, and I want to kind of give you a shot. We're right by Farragut Square, and you see just kind of the massive police presence out here. Very similar to what we saw just a few blocks down. And right now it looks like they're about to set up for a press conference. We're hoping to get a little bit more information from this press conference, and I want to send it back to you so we can kind of get set up so we can get a little bit more information. Obviously, this is an evolving investigation and just very few details at this point. We're hoping to get more details coming up soon. As you see right here, we have a press conference. It appears to be starting somewhat soon. At least the setup is starting right now.
Okay. All right, Christian, we'll let you and your crew do your thing and get in position so we can bring that to our audience live.